Hey everyone, it's Lucie Fink. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's YouTube video, I'm about to teach you a secret. It's nothing juicy, it's nothing personal. This is just a secret that I've discovered on how to achieve every single goal that you've ever set for yourself. Basically, over the past few months, I have seemed to figure out something that not many people figure out in their lives, and that is how to actually achieve your goals. I think we all talk about goals and resolutions and things we want to do in our lives, but very few of us actually follow through and finish them and achieve them and check them off that bucket list. If you're one of those people who's been sitting at home who has a whole laundry list of things that you want to do, but you just don't know how to actually turn them into reality, watch this video. I'm just gonna get it out and I'm just gonna tell you the secret up front and then I will explain myself. And it might not sound groundbreaking, so don't pass judgment just yet, but just watch the video, listen, soak up all the info. But I first and foremost have to tell you the secret. The secret to achieving all of your goals and to doing everything that you want to do in this world is planning ahead. If I just said those two words and you now want to shut this video off because you feel like it's not going to be useful for you, don't. I promise. There is some really helpful information in what I'm about to say. Planning ahead. What do I mean by planning ahead? I think the best way to share this with you is to actually speak in tangible examples, because if I start talking in hypotheticals, no one's gonna know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna give you examples of goals that I myself have been wanting to achieve, and I'm going to explain how planning ahead has helped me achieve those goals. And then I will also explain to you how if I did not plan ahead, I would not be able to achieve those same goals. So let's get started with goal number 1. It has been a major goal of mine for as long as I can remember now to do yoga 2 times a week and to do another form of strength building exercise 1 time a week. Goal number 2 for the longest time has been to cook more food and eat more nutritious and better food at home. And goal number 3 of mine has been to start meditating and journaling regularly, so every single day. Now I have these 3 goals and let me explain to you how planning ahead has helped me actually achieve them. Starting with the working out. When I just take 20 minutes or so on a Sunday night and I open my ClassPass app, which is actually the app I use for all of my workout studios, and I go through and I compare and contrast the ClassPass schedule with my personal schedule for the week, and I see where are my opening time slots, which days of the week does it make sense for me to do yoga, does it make sense for me to do it in the morning or in the evening, should I save it for the weekend, whatever it is I need to do, I will look at ClassPass and I will look at my schedule and I will schedule in those 3 classes that I mentioned. And when I take this, I'm talking 10 to 20 minutes on Sunday and I do this, I then actually book the classes right then and there on Sunday. I actually add them to my calendar, and now throughout the week I have these classes booked. One of the best features about ClassPass actually is that if you don't go to the class after you've booked it, and if you try to cancel within I think a 12-hour window, you actually have to pay. So you are incentivized to go to that class once you've booked it. So once they're in my schedule, I know that I've pretty much done all of the heavy lifting. I've planned the classes, they're in my calendar, I'm ready to go, and now all I have to do is show up. Now let me tell you what would happen on a normal week if I did not plan ahead. I'd be sitting here, I'd be the same Lucie, the same me, and I'd be saying, my goal is to do yoga twice a week and then do another strength building class another time a week. And do you know what would happen? A day would come around and I'd be thinking, oh, I should probably get to this workout class tonight. I'd look at the schedule, there would actually be a full opening, perfect timing, 6 p.m. class. Should I go? Should I not go? 80 to 90% of the time, I would decide to not go. And that's because I will have been in the middle of doing work. Maybe the weather's not great outside and I think, I'll just go tomorrow. Maybe I'll decide I want to get to bed early and this is going to cut into my dinner time, so I'm not going to go. Whatever it is, I'm going to come up with 1 million excuses to not go to this class, and I will not go. Whatever that process looks like for you of setting up this calendar and booking your classes and actually paying for them ahead of time and getting yourself to go, that is the only way that you will consistently be able to achieve that goal. Now on to the food goal. If it's been my goal to eat more food from home and to eat more nutritious, healthy things, then at the end of the day, the only way I'm going to do that is if I am prepped going into the week with those healthy food options in my fridge. And this might mean taking a little bit of time on a Saturday or Sunday and go for a food shop. It might even mean I need to take some extra time and actually plan out what meals I want to make for myself so I can make sure I have all the ingredients on hand. Whatever it is, I need to do that work ahead of time, that little bit of extra legwork work one day ahead of time so that in that whole week ahead, I'm prepped, I'm planned, I have all the food I need, and now I can implement my goal. If I just said to myself, my goal is to cook more food, but I didn't take that little bit of time to plan it out over the weekend, do you know what's gonna happen? Because I know, and what is going to happen is the week is gonna come up and I'm gonna say, oh, I really wanted to cook tonight, but it's already 4 p.m. and I don't even have the ingredients that I need, and I don't even know what I wanna make, so now I need to run out to the grocery store. This is too much work. I'm not cooking tonight. Let me order Seamless. This has happened to me time and time again when I've said, I don't wanna order this stuff off Seamless that's coming to my door filled with salt and processed stuff. I want to cook it in my own kitchen, but if I don't allow myself to take that little bit of time ahead of time, prep things out, and make sure I have those ingredients, there's just no way I'm achieving that goal. And my third goal, which was to meditate and journal regularly, the only way that I've been able to actually implement this into my life, and let me tell you, it's now been approximately 2 months of every single morning waking up and doing a 10-minute meditation followed by a 10-minute journaling session. And I know fully that the only way that I've been able to achieve this goal and make this happen for myself is by scheduling into my calendar every day that first thing in the morning, before I check my phone, before I look at my text messages or my email, I need to do my 10 minutes of meditation followed by my 10 minutes of journaling. That has truly been the only way that I get myself to every single morning do this and check it off the list because I know it's something I want to do. Now, here's what would happen if I didn't make that mandate to myself and I just said, I really want to start meditating every morning and I want to journal. But if I didn't actually make it a part of my schedule and have rules and precautions around it, then here's what would happen. I'd wake up, I'd look at my phone, I'd say, okay, it's time to get up, but I should meditate, but I'm kind of getting sucked into my phone because I see there's a text message on the screen. I'm going to open the text message, then I'm gonna say, wait, don't I have to check my email? I think I have something to do today. Then I'm gonna open my email. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be 20 minutes later, still lying in bed, on Instagram, looking at my email, getting stressed about the day. And then before I even have time to meditate and do my journaling, I'm gonna say, wait, I actually really have to get up because I have a shoot in an hour. So I have found that scheduling this meditation into my morning is a very important piece of this puzzle. And another thing that I do is that I go so far as to adjust my actual wake-up call to make sure I have that time built in. So for example, the other day I had to wake up at 5 a.m. for a shoot in upstate New York. I knew I had to be out of the door by 5:45, so I wanted to give myself 45 minutes or so to get dressed and ready. So essentially what I did was I woke myself up 20 minutes earlier than I would have normally so that I knew I had those 20 minutes to meditate and journal. If I hadn't done that, I can tell you with certainty that I would have woken up on that morning and I would have said, I'm in a crazy rush, it's 5 a.m., I'm so tired, I just want 5 more minutes of sleep and I'm not doing the meditation today. And I know that if I want to achieve these goals, I have to set myself up properly for success, and I can't give myself any sort of margin for potentially backing out of it last minute. And that goes for all of these goals I've mentioned. The reason that I tend to not follow through with goals that I want to achieve is because I don't give myself hard and fast rules or hard and fast schedules, and I kind of just say, I'll take it day by day, minute by minute, we'll see how I feel, and at the end of the day, I always feel like I'd rather not do it. Whatever it is, there's always an easier way out. You can always lie on the couch, watch TV, and not get any movement into your body. You can always decide, I'm just gonna order Seamless and have someone drop off food at my door, and I'm not gonna cook anything. Or you can say, it's actually really hard to meditate, and I don't know what to journal about, so I'm just gonna wake up and start my day and not do any of that. But if you're anything like me, you might have these goals that you know they're difficult to achieve, but you really, really want to achieve them. So whatever it is your goals are, maybe you have some of the same goals that I have, maybe you have different goals, but take for example, someone that has a goal to start their own business. If you know that by the end of this month, you want your business to be up and running off the ground, that's not going to happen by you saying, I really want my business to be up and running by the end of the month. If you want to start your business, you are, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, you can decide, going to have to do a little bit of back-end pre-planning. And what I mean by this is you might need to sit down at the very start of the month and say to yourself, okay, if I want to be here by the end of the month, that means that in the 4 weeks in the month, I need to get this done in week 1, this done in week 2, by week 3 I need to get this done, and then by week 4 I will be at my goal. Every single goal that you have can be broken down into smaller pieces which can be broken down into even smaller pieces, and sometimes the absolute only way to get them done is to schedule them into your calendar. We all have very busy lives, we have a lot going on, but if you have something that you really, really want to do and you really want to get it done, add a little bit of extra time up front to make sure that you are prioritizing it in your day. If not, it's very easy to get lost in the shuffle. You might not ever achieve the things that you want to do, and you'll just look back on it and wonder why, and the reason is because you were not prepared. At the end of the day, in order to achieve your goals, you need to be realistic and you need to be systematic, and you also need to be diligent at committing to it. So whatever it is your goal is, I'm going to give you 5 seconds of silence to just pull out a pen and paper and write down your goals. Ready, go. Okay, it's been 5 seconds. I hope you have a long list of goals. Now I want you to circle one of those goals. Whatever the goal is that you circled, that's the goal I want you to focus on this week. And I want you to really think about what are the individual things that you maybe need to do right now to achieve that goal this week, or at least make some strides in it. The goals that I've called out this week are goals that with just a little bit of pre-planning, I can actually achieve the following week. So these are not long-term goals. These are very short-term things that I've been wanting to implement into my life regularly, and through pre-scheduling and pre-planning, I've been able to. But many people's goals out there are actually long-term goals. These are not things that you can sit down on a Sunday and achieve by the following Monday. You're going to need to really break things out, figure out what you need to do exactly in a given week or a given month in order to get to where you want to be in 2-3 years down the line. This tactic of pre-planning and being prepared and scheduling things out works no matter what the goal is. That said, no matter how much you plan, know that things are not always going to work out exactly the way you plan. So leave a little bit of room for change or readjustments, and just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Having a roadmap can be a really helpful guide to reaching your goals, but just know that not everything is going to work out exactly as you're envisioning in your brain, so cut yourself some slack. I hope this video helped you when it comes to figuring out how you can take some easy steps right now to start laying out the roadmap to achieving the goals that you want to achieve in the future. Comment below and let me know some of your biggest goals and the things that you're working on right now, and let me know in the comment section if you thought this was helpful to helping you actually take the first step to achieving it. Sending so much love from New York City, and I'll see you next time right here on my YouTube channel. Bye.